everyone, welcome to Jenny Stitching Simply here on Flosstube and on Instagram. This is Flosstube number 8 and I'm so excited to be here with you. I wanted to start off with a fully finished item that is also the chart that I had promised to make in my last video. So I was able to finish stitching and then I charted the piece after I had stitched it. So like I had said, I'm pretty sure I did it backwards, but it worked for me. So let me show you what I came up with. So it says sweet, simple things, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. It's stitched on 36 count Eucalyptus by Fox and Rabbit. And then the little bird's nest is actually Spanish moss that I'll show you also. And then I just finished it with some of the like twine, and I put this really pretty fabric on the back. So let me tell you a little bit more about it. The quote actually, the full quote is from Laura Ingalls Wilder, and it reads, "It is the sweet, simple things in life which are the real ones after all." So I thought that that was very appropriate, and I wanted to make something little that I could share with everyone as a thank you for watching and subscribing and leaving comments. And I was able to chart it, so you will be able to find this in the description box below. And what you will need to do is click on the link, and the chart is saved as a PDF in my Google Drive. And when you click on the link, all that you will need to do is download it, and then you'll from there be able to save it to your device or print it. Since I am not a professional, you'll notice that there's no center arrows. So if you like to start in the center, it's a very small chart. I mean, my thought was you could literally fold the piece of paper into, quarters. There is a letter version, and there's also an A4 version. So just when you might have to hover over it, to see the full description. But they're there for you to print, and hopefully it's something that you may want to stitch. I have the colors I had shown last video, and then this is the Fox and Rabbit Eucalyptus, which is a really pretty bluish green color, but more on the blue side. And then I really wanted to incorporate something three-dimensional, as I often like to do with buttons or things like that. So where the bird's nest is located in the chart, there's basically an empty space, and you could do long and short, just straight stitches, and stitch the nest that way. You could also, my original intention was to actually go outside and just pick up some twigs and stitch them on or glue them on. And then I thought, what about that moss, stuff that they sell? So Roman had to go to Walmart to pick up some hardware for a project he was working on, and I thought, oh, they probably have it. Now it pained me that I had to buy these 2 big bags for this one tiny little thing, and I couldn't decide what color. So it's just this stuff that you get at the craft store, and I couldn't decide. I ended up using just a few pieces of the green and then some of the natural color. sorry, that's super crinkly. And then what I figured out was it was easier. I just used a little bit of the Aleene's tacky glue, and it was, in my mind I pictured, oh, you know, I'll kind of like roll up a little nest and then glue it on, but it was actually easier to just pull out a strand and then just, you know, take one tiny little dab of glue and put it on there. So it was actually quite easy, and there's lots of things that you could do. I even saw when I was searching for what I wanted to use, there's tutorials on YouTube where people make little bird's nest out of DMC, and they basically just take the DMC and cover it in like glue and shape it into a nest and then let it dry. It's really cute. So there's lots of things you could do with it. The other thing I wanted to mention was the color legend has the DMC that I used. It does print out a little bit on the smaller side. So I apologize. I don't know how to change that. So, but that will be down below, and I hope that it's something that you enjoy. And it was a lot of fun to do. Yeah, it was definitely a new experience trying to stitch it and then chart it, because again, it would have been a lot faster to just chart it and then stitch it, but lesson learned, you know. I know for next time. And this fabric that I used on the back, this is a piece that I got at my girlfriend's quilt shop when I went to visit my family on vacation. I don't know who the designer is, and I really like it. They had a little orphan section in the back of fat quarters. So I may contact them and see if they have any more, or if they know who it was made by, just because I really would like to get some more of it. So that will be there down below for you guys. I did not get a lot of stitching done. Moving on to whips or works in progress. I really wanted to get caught up on my modern folk embroidery stitch along, and I still had July and August to do. So going from January, February, March, I think, oops, April, May, I don't know where I am, sorry guys, but I'm getting down to, this is the July block. Sorry, my phone's vibrating. And as you can see, actually, the space here is for an initial. I'm not 100% sure if I want to do my initials or something else. So that's just an initial that goes there. And then this whole section is what's left to be done, but this is the almost, you know, full coverage kind of like this kind of situation. So I need to do that, and then I need to move on to August. So I really, as far as plans going forward, I really want to get this done before I do too much else. But I did start a tiny project that I had picked up when we were visiting our family in Utah at Shepherd's Bush. And it's just a small Blackbird Designs bird in hand, which I know I've seen lots of people stitch, and I really like it. I grew up in Lancaster County, and there's actually a bird in hand is the name of a town there. But the main reason I got it, I mean, besides I think it's a really pretty chart, is when I was mentioning in my last video about how my brother Brent had started stitching, and he started with that Chessie and Me kit that came with Gloriana floss or silks. And when I was helping him, I thought, oh my gosh, they're so fluffy and they feel so good. And I thought I really would love to try them, but like everyone recommends, you know, it would make more sense to just do something monochromatic and small and just, you know, just to try it. So that was my motivation for, reaching, for doing that project. And the color that I chose is called Arctic Ice. And I just did a little bit. But this is my kind of piece that I have sitting out where if I don't have the time to really get into working on the stitch along from Modern Folk Embroidery that I just shared, or it's late and I'm tired, you know, I can just put in even a half a strand on this project and I can still have the fun of stitching without having to think too much about it. So I do really like the Gloriana a lot. That's been a lot of fun. So the other thing that I spent time on over the past 2 weeks since I've seen you guys is I really wanted to make, I did make Brent's project bag and that's already been shipped to him and he's been using it. So that makes me really happy. And then I had shared this pattern that Sarah from SewMeSarah had shared her, her friend Jude's website, Just Jude Designs, and I had my mom and my sister-in-law Preeti pick out fabric, and I thought, you know, for me this was kind of a more involved sewing project. I had never done the box bottom and I had never done the nice like zipper tabs, and the instructions are excellent. But for me, this was still, you know, kind of a bigger project. And I was so happy. I didn't even mail this to my mom yet because I wanted to show you. So this is what I ended up making with the fabric she picked out. So I love that it like stands up really nicely. And then Sarah actually suggested putting one of those little leaves on that I've used in my other projects for my mom's necklace, which I thought was such a good idea. But I was really happy, like this side at least lined up really well. And I got my little tabs on there and it's lined, but I just really, like, if you follow the excellent directions, you end up with a really nice project in the end. So often when I sew, I think I get a little bit, like I'm not as patient and I just want to get through it. I don't take the time, you know, to follow all the little steps, like stitch in the ditch when you get to the, you know, the little flange here. And to be honest with you, as I'm going through the instructions, I'm going, scant 1/4 inch. Well, I think I know what that is, but then what was really nice is I just went to Judith's website and she had all of those like tutorials and directions on her website. So anything I had a question about, I just referenced her website. So that worked out really well and I'm really, really, really happy with this. So now I will send it to my mom. And then I have shown before how I store my whips in my whip basket and how I typically store the charts in there, and you know, sometimes the fabric folded up, but it was getting a little bit out of control. And I don't typically use project bags. I use those, oh, here's one. I use these like, you know, reusable produce bags. That's what I'm trying to say. So but I thought, well, you know, like I'm not opposed to project bags. I personally like my pieces in fabric as opposed to the plastic. And also I, you know, want to use that particular whip basket. So I thought, well, if I tried to make something that fit in that basket, then I could put a few of the bigger projects in there that I'm working on. So based on what I had learned from the project that I made, that I just showed you, and the instructions in there, I decided to make a project bag that was a little bit different style. Wait, okay, hold on. Let me see if I do this. So it's vertical, the zipper's on the top, but I did use the little, my new skill of, oh, that one's maybe not, you know, I'm still getting the hang of it. That one looks better than that one, but I made, oh, here we go. Because Judith does a lot with like the linen, and then it's just has the quilted lines, which I liked. So I learned how to do that from her pattern. And then what I did was I made a pocket, like the pockets on the outside on both sides. So it sits in my basket this way, but I can still see what it is. And this works for me because I normally have PDF printed charts. So if this cover sheet gets messed up, it's not a problem because I can print a new one. So I can see where if you have a nice paper chart that you want to protect, this wouldn't work. But for me, this is perfect. I have the pockets on the outside. There's one on either side. And then inside, I have my floss and my fabric. So this I actually did work on a tiny bit also because I just really love it. This is the IDM sampler from Modern Folk Embroidery. So I showed this briefly before. I'm stitching it on a gray that I had. It's 30 count legacy linen. I think it's a Parisian gray. And I just have a little bit done. I just wanted to get into like the flowers there. But the issue I was running into with this project is, you know, I have mentioned before, I often don't use, or I often stitch projects that do not use a lot of colors. And I don't store my DMC on floss rings or floss tags because I don't have anywhere to put them. Like if I take all my DMC off of the skein and then put it on a floss drop, at that point I don't have any place to put it. Whereas the actual just skeins of DMC, I do have a place. So the problem I was running into with this project is it actually has 24 colors. It's not a huge project. I don't know if I can, it's only 167 wide and 173 high, so it's not big, but it has 24 colors. So using my normal method where I just pull it from the skein was starting like to get a little bit difficult. And I thought, well, I don't have to cut apart the entire skein to use thread cards. You know, I could just take a few strands, or Jacob actually tells you like how many stitches there are in each color, so that's super helpful. And then combined with the fact that Michelle from MommaLovesYou GB had come up with the brilliant, amazing idea of the business card floss card. I don't know why I can't think of what they're called all the time. Anyway, long story short, I made some because I thought that was just so much fun. And then I put the 24 colors on to the cards. So this is the color palette for the, what's it called? IDM sampler, but you can see what I did. Like this only has, you know, a couple strands on it. And then these are the cards that I made. This is a picture that I took. We went for a hike in Logan Canyon, and there was a really pretty lake, and we went all the way around the lake, and there were so many wildflowers blooming. And then I just have the DMC. And I wrote it in pencil because, like, again, I'm gonna, when I finish this project, because it doesn't have the whole skein of DMC on it, I'll just take these off and reuse them. So I made a set for Brent, my brother, who started stitching, and now I have them. So my dilemma is I don't really use these on a regular basis enough to like trade with people and then take theirs, because I feel like I'm not necessarily going to use them. Like I may need 25 or 50 in my possession at any given time. So the only thing I could think of to do was if you guys, unless you have a better idea, I mean, if anybody would like some of these, just email me, and I'll be happy to send you some. So again, they're just a photograph that I took, and I did the rounded corners because anything that I also, when I made the project bag, I usually just like line any project bag, like the one I made for Brent too, just in a white linen or a white muslin, because I feel like I try to avoid anything like colored on the inside if I can, or pokey, I don't know. But yeah, I guess if anybody wants some, just let me know. I mean, when I run out of them, I guess I just run out of them, but I didn't want to take them from other people who were trading and then not use them, even though I think the idea is absolutely amazing. My brother already got some and started trading them with people, so that was awesome. Brent's so excited. He's just so excited about everything. So, and I'm sorry. It's that weird time of year where, the fall's coming and the schedules are changing and school and things like that. And I just feel like I can't keep anything together. But I also wanted to show Linda, I'm sorry. See, I can't even talk. Lisa sent me, sorry guys, this beautiful card. And I just wanted to say thank you to you. That was so sweet. So that was really fun to get in the mail. Thank you. And let me just check my notes really quickly. Oh, I do have the scissor fobs that we had talked about. They will be listed by the time this video gets uploaded. They will be in my Etsy shop, so I will link that below. There's the freshwater pearls, like the white freshwater pearls, and there's some other styles. I did some Roman glass ones. I'm fascinated by Roman glass. That they find the shards and are able, they make them into beads, and I just think that's really, really cool. So that will be in the Etsy shop. And the other thing that we have left is the 1,000 subscriber giveaways from last time. So let me grab my phone. Sorry guys, sorry. And just pull up the pictures and make sure that I get this all correct. Sorry, I'm being really slow today. Okay. So, the first one, let me just put a couple things out of my way so that I can see. The first one that we had was cool, was the keyword, and that was for the Says You set of cool fibers. Whoops! Oh my goodness! Sorry, there's another bobbin. It just escaped. I'll pull it up. But the winner of that one is Veronica Gillette. So Veronica, if you will just, hold on one second. Sorry, I had to grab that before Kitty got it. Kitty's the dog. If you will just, oh my gosh. Well, this one's really good, guys. Veronica, if you will just send me an email, and then I will get that out to you as soon as possible. My email will be in the description box below, as it always is. And then the next item was the SewMeSarah in the warm colors. Oh my goodness. I'm not editing this, guys, sorry. This is how my week has been. Okay, so this is the warm, and the winner of this one goes to Slightly Bananas, which I love. Sorry, now I'm dropping my DMC that Kitty's trying to eat. So Slightly Bananas. This one is yours. Oh, and in her comments, she had mentioned that she was having to frog on her modern folk embroidery piece. So my heart went out. That's a tough one to have to frog on. And then the next one, just making sure I have these, okay, in the right order. The next one is the La-Di-Da chart that I had shown last week as a fully finished item or object. I always call it fully finished item, but I know it's an FFO. So this also has the DMC that I use. That's the mystery bobbin. They're not full skeins, but I think even with what I used, you probably have enough. So this one goes to Youngblood Suze, and it's Suzette. So if you will also email me, I will get that one out to you. And then the next piece is the Avlia chart. And this is the one that I had ordered from Etsy, but had gotten crumpled in the pile of mail from vacation. So again, I apologize, but it has not been out of the bag. And it has, I put the DMC in that you need. And then there's also, I will cut the ground cloth, which is the called for fabric, and I will put that with it when I send it. And that goes to Molly Sevcik. It's S-E-V-C-I-K. And thank you, Molly had just found the channel too. So thank you. And Molly, if you just also email me. And then the last item is the measuring tape from Mameworks, and this one has the little sewing machine. I can't tell it. There we go. And this one goes to Linda Van Osdell. And Linda's comment really made me laugh because she called it the death hill that I had to drive down. And that's what it felt like when we were talking about the driving situation in the last video. So, and thank you everyone for making me feel like I'm not the only one that's afraid of driving down these like insane roads on the side of mountains. So Linda, if you will also email me, and congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me on this journey. And I apologize that I had so much trouble speaking today and holding on to things. Oh my goodness. But, and again here, if you would like to download the chart, I'll try to put a picture on Instagram too. The color of the fabric's pretty true, but this is a thank you to everyone. And you know, maybe at the next, like if we get to 2,000 or something, I'll attempt another one. But I was happy with this one, and it was definitely a learning experience. So I'm really glad that I did it and that I have it to offer to everyone. So thank you so much. If, as always, you know, if there's anything that you guys have questions about, you can put them in the comments. You can send me an email. I appreciate you watching so much, and your liking and your subscribing and the interactions. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful last few weeks of summer or start of school year or whatever is happening in your life. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.